This is the story of my new watch and how it took me 5 years to get it. So let's get right into it. Guys, before the video starts, I'd kindly ask if you could like the video, subscribe for more videos like this in the future. A quick reminder again, I am running an Omega Speedmaster giveaway for when myself here on the Bertini's Jewelry YouTube channel hits over 10,000 subscribers, as well as my friend JJ from the Watch Hangout. I'll leave the video down in the description below on how to enter the giveaway. It is a free Omega Speedmaster, so there's no reason why you shouldn't enter. So guys, talking a little bit about this watch, it's interesting because I never really saw myself getting another Rolex. For those who have seen my State of the Collection video, I own a Rolex GMT Master 2, the back row, the reference 126710 BLNR on a Jubilee bracelet, and it's my absolute favorite watch in the world. The story behind it, how I acquired it, everything about it. It's just the most, I think, perfect watch, and all the memories that I've made with it make it the most special watch in my collection. It's probably, if I had to only keep one watch, that would be it. But for those who don't know, I've owned another Rolex in the past. It was a Rolex Submariner no date, a reference 114060 that I actually got on the secondary market about, 4 or 5 years ago now, just out of frustration because I couldn't get anything at my authorized dealer. I had reached out to my authorized dealer back in 2019, so 2 years before I was graduating university, because I wanted to get a Rolex watch essentially as a graduation gift for myself as a reward, and I felt like 2 years was more than a long enough and fair enough lead time to ultimately deliver on the watch, despite not having a purchase history. Now, of course, as we know, from 2019 onwards, the watch market went crazy, and so obviously things kind of changed, but I would keep going into the store on a month-to-month basis just to check in, see how things were, and ultimately play what we call the AD games, right? To ultimately continue to show we are interested in the watch. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I still want it. I even, just to gain favor, asked if I can ultimately buy a Tissot PRX from them at retail, which I did. Overpaid for the watch, again, just to play AD games, maybe garner myself some kind of favor with the authorized dealer and hopefully get my Rolex watch a little bit sooner. Now I'll get into the story of what the watch is, but to make a long story short, I waited well over 2 years for the watch that never ultimately came, and then unfortunately it was discontinued in 2021, much to my chagrin, because then I had to change to a different watch that I ultimately didn't really want. And so out of spite, I ended up getting a Rolex Submariner on the secondary market, and it brought me so much pride and joy when I brought that and the back row in to my Rolex authorized dealer and told them, hey, look at this. I have 2 Rolex watches and none of them came from you. And guess what? You could take me off the wait list. I don't want your watch anymore. Now, I go into the story of this. It's been almost 6 years now, I guess since it's 2025, that I was ultimately first interested in this wristwatch. It's not a super complicated Rolex or anything like that. It's actually probably the simplest in all of its catalog. So to kind of get into it, it is a Rolex Explorer, the reference 214270 in 39 millimeters. Now, why did I like this wristwatch? There's a couple of reasons. First of all, the 39 millimeter case size I think is absolutely perfect. It's that perfect balance proportion of the watch, case, dial, and just overall aesthetics. I think, on a lug-to-lug kind of scale, it's perfect for my wrist. I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist, so a little bit smaller than most wrist sizes. And so the 39 millimeter really fit me in a perfect case size, where the 36 I just felt was a little bit too small. I know a lot of people love the 36 case size, and I'm sure the 36 would fit my wrist probably nowadays in a fine way. I actually enjoy 37 to 39 is kind of my sweet spot. But the 36 was also a great watch, but it just wasn't my preference. And now that I own this Rolex Explorer 214270, I couldn't be happier. It really is just the perfect everyday watch, something that's super under the radar that I can wear, dressed up like this, wearing a suit every day, or dressed down on the weekends, and it's exactly what I wanted. Really, the intended purpose of this wristwatch for my collection was ultimately just to have a go anywhere, do anything kind of watch that kind of is pretty low key, that obviously is super high quality, very luxurious, and I didn't really expect to get this one in particular. Actually, I was debating between a few different watches, and it was a friend of mine, JJ from the Watch Hangout, who said, hey Marco, you've always loved the Rolex Explorer. Why don't you just get that instead? It just makes so much more sense. And I'm so thankful I took his advice. And so I started looking online and scouring, obviously my network. Being a watch dealer, I have access to some amazing deals. And funny enough, I actually ended up getting this from a friend of mine in Hong Kong, because they have just some incredible deals full set 2017 fully stickers. I've taken them off now because I'm wearing the actual watch. Obviously, I'm still very much in the honeymoon phase, but I got a full set 2017 box papers, even the original white tag, fully stickered, for less than the original retail I would have paid back in 2020. So I believe the last known retail was around $6,500 for the 214270, and I paid $6,000, which I think is just an absolute steal of a deal. And you know what? It makes that watch even more sweeter. The AD never delivered on their promise to get me that watch, despite me going in every single month for 2 years straight, continuing to follow up, actually speaking to the sales advisor. You know, on a personal note, I actually followed him on Instagram. He was not much older than I was. No shame on the guy if he's watching, because at the end of the day, I understand you have a pretty difficult job allocating the watches, but it just feels all the more sweeter the fact that I got this under the original MSRP all these years later. Reflecting on my collection, it's crazy to think about when I did a state of the collection video, I've changed my watch collection by about 50% now, right? I think this is going to be an amazing long-term keeper in the collection just because it's again, go anywhere, do anything kind of wristwatch, very bulletproof, and just an awesome design overall. Now, what's the lesson to learn from this? I guess, for one, be patient in your watch collecting journey, because if you'll see anything, it will bring rewards. As we saw a crazy market, this became kind of ungettable, where it was trading way over listed. Now that I got it well under retail, it's pretty cool to see. Obviously, this is probably not a deal most consumers would get because I am in the business. That does help. But for the most part, I think I'm super excited and really am going to cherish this wristwatch just due to the story behind it, the fact that it took me, almost 5 years now to get this wristwatch. And now that I finally have it, it's mine in the collection. So Rolex Explorer 39mm 214270. This is the Mark II dial, so it does have the Lume 3, 6, and 9. But yeah, I just wanted to get on YouTube, talk about my new watch, and just give you guys kind of a quick ramble. I'm so excited to own this timepiece. It's super cool, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be. You know, it really is. They say don't meet your heroes sometime, but in this case, it ended up working out. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below about this wristwatch, and of course, the story behind it. Are there any watches out there that you guys are waiting on from your Rolex authorized dealer that they still haven't delivered on to this day? You know, it's a shame to see that Rolex market is changing, and it changed over the last kind of 5 years where enthusiasts were not able to access the watches that they really wanted. But as I mentioned in the video that did super well, you know, the Rolex kind of, not bubble bursting, but the crazy price increases in Rolex, seeing how they're now pretty much trading all under retail in the secondary market, we'll see just how much demand Rolex ultimately has and the staying power Rolex has in a collection. You know, it's very easy to have 5 Rolex watches when every single one of them is trading over retail and there's that profit incentive to buy it at retail. But now that that's gone, will the Rolex brand be affected? Personally, I definitely think so. And I think we'll see a scenario where watch enthusiasts are going to be getting the call from their Rolex authorized dealer in greater quantities just due to the current market and the crazy increases in retail prices we've experienced over time. So guys, this is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, let me know down in the comments below what you think of this watch, and of course, your story with your current Rolex authorized dealer with respect to waitlist. I'd love to get some suggestions down in the comments below of what videos you'd like to see from me here on the Bernese Jewelry YouTube channel. Of course, I'd really appreciate it if you would like the video, subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and as always guys, I'll see you in the next one.